Hi class, so now we've come to the third part of solving our word problems involving fractions. Now for these questions, for this third part, we are going to take a look at fraction of a remainder. Fraction of a remainder. Please do not confuse yourself, okay? Confuse this with fraction of a set. Okay, often when you see when we're going to solve a word problem involving a remainder, the word remainder or the word remaining will appear. Okay, so be very aware that when you see the word remainder or remaining, there will be a second set involved. Okay, what do I mean? Now let's take a look at this word problem and try to solve the question, this word problem involving fraction of a remainder. Now, there are 150 buttons in a bottle. 2 out of 6 of them are blue. Half of the remainder are red and the rest are green. How many green buttons are there? Now, before you start doing the question, this is a special word that should draw your attention. Do you know what's that word? Yes, the word here is remainder. Okay, remainder. We're going to see how we can solve these word problems, okay, involving fractions of a remainder. So before we begin the question, how do we start? What are the 4 things to remember? Okay, what's the strategy that we should use? Okay, we need to remember our AMMN, annotations, models, matching statements, and our number statements. AMMN. Alright, so let's begin by putting in our annotations. Okay, let's understand the question. There are 150 buttons in a bottle. Alright, 150 buttons in a bottle. 2 out of 6 of them are blue. Like we've learned earlier on, fraction of a set. Them refers to the set. And the set here is the 150 buttons. Alright, and we know the denominator refers to the number of units of a set. And the numerator refers to the number of units of the condition. So, 2 refers to the number of units that are blue. 2 units out of 6 units are blue. Blue is the condition, okay? Now, right, and half of the remainder are red. Okay, now interesting. Okay, take a look at this. Half of the remainder are red. Now the remainder does also refer to this set. Are they the same set? No. Okay, now this is the remaining part, the extra part after you've taken out all the blue. Okay, remainder is the remaining portion. So what do I mean by that? That means this is a different set from this set. There are now 2 sets involved. Set 1 will be the 150 buttons. Okay, and set 2, the remainder, refer to the remainder of the buttons. Okay, I'm going to put both of them here. Write the remainder of the buttons. 2 different sets here. Okay, now I'm going to annotate the fraction of a set, and this set refers to a second set, remainder of the buttons. So remainder, half of it, that means 2 units out of this. Remainder are red. Alright, okay, they are red. Okay, and the rest are green. The rest are green. Okay, and we would like to find out how many green buttons are there. So we've done our annotations, and let's try to understand the question a little more by drawing the models. We finished annotations, we're going to draw the models now. Now, usually when we look at a fraction of a set, and when we see that the 2 fractions are of different denominator, we will immediately change it, convert it before we start doing the question or before we start doing the models. But in this case, it's not going to be possible. Why? Because this time there is a fraction of a remainder. fraction of the of a set, but it's a fraction of a remainder. Now, so in this case, we have to imagine and take away this remainder. Okay, so let's draw the model and explain out to ourselves and understand this question along the way. So first of all, let's ignore the second set. Let's look at the first set, the set where it's 150 buttons, the orange one. Okay, so in the first set, the first beginning set, right, how many units are there? There are 6 units. Let's draw 1, 2. Okay, there are 6 units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, out of these 6 units, the question says 2 units out of 6 of them are blue. So these 2 units are blue. Now, next part of the question says half of the remainder. Now, where is the remainder? Do you know where's the remainder? Okay, we have to annotate and show ourselves where's the remainder. Okay, as you can see, after we've taken away the blue, these 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the remainder. Now, the question says half of the remainder. So let's ignore the blue. Okay, let's imagine. We're just going to put something over it and imagine it's not there for the moment. So when we do the question ourselves, we just put our hand over the 2 units where it was blue, cover it, and imagine it's not there. Oh, okay, so now we're left with the remainder. So it says half of the remainder are red. Now, there are 4 units, half of the remainder are red. So we have to convert, okay, and write down. Alright, there are 4 units. I'm going to make the denominator from 2 to give me 4 because there's a remainder of 4 units. Right, so out of these 4 units, I'm going to convert. 1 out of 2 becomes 2 out of 4. Okay, how do I do this? I multiply the numerator and denominators by 2. So as a result, okay, so it tells me 2 out of 4 of the remainder are red. Knowing this information, can we fill this into this model now? 2 out of 4 of them are red. 2 out of 4 of them are red. Okay? Now, and the rest are green. So we can also fill that in. The rest are green. Okay, and we also want, and the question asks us, okay, how many green buttons are there? So we're going to put a question mark over there. How many green buttons are there? Now, once we've completed this part of the model, do we still leave our hand over there? No, let's take it away to see the full model. So this is the full model of fraction of a remainder. Alright, so oh, we also forgot one information. We also have to remember that the entire 6 units over here, okay, the entire thing, let me put it at the bottom, is 150 buttons. Okay, so are we ready to solve the question? Let's look at the information and see what can we work with. We know that 150 buttons refer to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's write that down. Alright. Okay. And after which, we can find out what's 1 unit, and we also can find out the number of green buttons, which is 2 units. 1, 2, we multiply it by 2. 1 unit is 150 divided by 6, which is 25. The green buttons, which is 2 units, is 25 times 2, which is 50. So as a result, we know that there are 50 green buttons. Okay, sorry. And this is how we can solve the question. Fraction of a remainder. Let's go through the steps quickly again. Number 1, annotations. What's important is after we've annotated and realized the word remainder or remaining is used, it gives us an alarm bell, reminds us, okay, that hey, there are 2 different sets that will be mentioned here. The first set is the total set, and the second set is the set involving the remainder of the buttons. Okay, now after that we can draw the models. We will draw a model, and we start by drawing using the full set, covering what is not important, looking at just the remainder to fill in the rest of the information, then returning the full model, looking at it, alright, and we begin to solve the question by looking at what we can work with, which is 6 units is 150. Right, just the matching statements, and we solve it. We proceed to solve it according to the question. AMMN. Important points. Remainder tells us there's two sets, the total set and the remainder set. Alright, so you try our Power Maths 5, and you may also try and practice it, okay? And we'll continue learning more about this when school reopens. So I'll see you on Monday.